everybody, hope you're well. Welcome once again to my living room. Let's just dive right in. I'm going to start standing today. So just finding ourselves in a nice, comfortable, neutral posture. Just making sure we're not holding any tension anywhere. We're not locking the knees, holding any tension in the shoulders. Just try and let that go. Just close down the eyes for a few beats and we'll switch on to our breath. So like I say, just relaxing into the body. Try and relax the abdomen a little bit. In fact, let's place our hands on our abdomen, around where your belly button is. And just relax there. Just feel your stomach muscles relax into the hands. And then as we breathe in, feel that belly inflate and then exhale. Just for a few rounds. One more full breath here. And let's try and maintain that breath throughout. Just let those hands go, keep the eyes closed. Just dropping one ear to the shoulder and then rolling the neck all the way through, round to the other side. Just a nice little semicircle. And then down around the other way. Lovely little stretch in the neck, little stretch into the shoulders. Just notice how that feels as you come through the center there, stretching down the spine. Lovely, let's just go one more each way. To that first side and then come back into center and just lift the head. Beautiful. Just staying where we are for now. We're just going to do a few rounds of our roll down. So again, just keep it nice and relaxed. Take a big breath in and dip the chin on that exhale. Let the head become heavy and then thinking about each little vertebrae moving down in turn till we get all the way down to the bottom. Take a big breath in here. Lightly engaging that pelvic floor. Bend the knees. Rolling up. Stacking that vertebrae one at a time. Coming back up to standing. Just getting all those nice little juices flowing in between each vertebrae there. Nice little stretch in the back as we go. Take your time with it. Enjoy that movement. Keep the head and the shoulders heavy, remember, on the way up. Beautiful. Two more. On these last two, when we come down to the bottom, you might feel like you can just get down a little bit further. And one last one, big breath in. And exhale. Breath and back up. Nice. And then take those feet slightly wider into our squat stance, toes pointing away. Just going to come down into a nice deep squat and we're going to brace our elbows onto our knees here. Just going to drop one shoulder, get a nice twist through. The sides, we're just slowly going to switch between the two. getting a nice twist in the spine and also just pushing that knee away a little bit. Maybe feeling a little stretch into the inner leg. And just one more each way. And then coming back up. Staying with those squats. Feet slightly wider than hip distance, toes pointing away. We're just going to come through a few rounds of our squats now. So remember, thinking about sitting back in a chair, just pushing the bum back, keeping the chest lifted, knees tracking over the toes. No pressure about how deep those squats are or anything like that. Just move through it, just warming up into the legs a little bit. Arms wherever you want them. So we're just going to squat down, chest lifted, knees apart. You're sitting down. I was going to say sitting down in a big chair. No, you're sitting down in a little chair because you want to get down as far as you can. And then as we warm through that just a little bit, you can just start easing down a little bit more maybe, but no pressure. Slight engagement in the core here, so just draw the belly button in. 4 more. I like to give my bum a big old squeeze at the top as well, just switch onto those glutes. Keep pushing those knees away, remember, always pushing out with the knees. Last 2. And last one. Lovely, so hopefully you're nice and warm now. Let's roll down just to finish our warm up on the mat. So nice big breath in here. Last roll down. Down through the spine. This time, big bend in the knee when we get down to the bottom. Walk those hands out and come down onto our hands and knees for our cat-cow. Making sure that spine is super warm. Taking a big breath in. We dip the back, lift the tailbone and look forward. Exhale, draw belly button to spine, pushing up and through. Little tuck of that chin as well. So do this one in your own time with that nice deep breath, remember. And just really exaggerate that movement. Warming up into that full body. Two more. And last one here. Lovely. Coming back into neutral. Transitioning now into down dog. So we're going to take our hands slightly further forward. So we've got plenty of space. Tuck the toes behind us here and we're just going to lift those hips nice and high, dropping the head. Finding our down dog here. So we're pushing into the floor with the hands. Spread those fingertips. Keep those hips nice and high, nice and long in the back. Now we want to have plenty of space here because we are going to move forward. So just bear that in mind. You might need to just wiggle those feet slightly further back. So it's going to look like this. We're going to take a big breath in. And on the exhale, we're going to lift up onto the toes. We're going to curve through the back. Roll through the spine. Coming back to a nice straight back into that plank. Draw the belly button in here. And then either from this full high position, or you can drop to the knees if you want to. We're just going to slowly lower ourselves down. Elbows tucked in. Switching onto the back. All the way down to the bottom. You relax here. Just push yourself up onto your knees. and then back to down dog. So we're just going to do that a couple of times. So let's do it together and I'll talk you through. So nice big stretch here. Take a big breath in. Rolling up onto the toes on the exhale, curving through the spine till we come to that nice straight spine flat plank. Draw the belly button in here. Elbows tucked in. Drop down to the knees if you want to. Core tight. Slow as you can. All the way down to the floor. And then relax at the bottom. And then we'll just push up onto our knees. And then we'll come back up. So, again, let's do this in our own time, because everyone will have their own pace. We're going to do 4 more. Rolling through. Tighten up, squeeze everything here. Elbows tucked in. It's like slowly coming down from the top of a push-up, yeah? I'll do my next one on my knees just to show you that, just so we're all on the same page. Take a big breath in, rolling through, dropping down, elbows tucked in, slowly down, back onto our hands and knees, back to down dog. 2 more. Just take your time with it, take as long as you need in this down dog as well. Have a little stretch here. Tighten up. Get ready for that last one, guys. It's amazing how fast you fatigue, isn't it? All the way through. Not forgetting that nice big curve. High plank. And down. And then from here, we're going to come back to 1 more down dog. Don't worry, that's it for your arms. Just come to your down dog here. We're going to do 1 more roll through. Big breath in. Exhale, roll it through. And this time we're going to come to a lunge. So we're going to step our, well, whatever leg you want to start on. Step 1 foot forward to meet the hands. Negotiate it forward if you need to. And just drop down to that back knee here. I'm going to sweep up into a nice big stretch. So we're just going to sweep the arms up. So you should just feel a nice big stretch into this extended leg. Thinking about pushing the hips forward. Taking some nice deep breaths. And then bring those hands down. I'm going to transition to our high lunge, so if you need to walk your way up, that's fine. Otherwise, we're just going to tuck the toes under over that back leg, coming up into this position here, ready just to push up. So draw the belly button in, pushing up into that high lunge. Step the feet slightly wider if you need to, just to ground yourself a little bit more. Just widen that stance a little bit. And we're going to come into some rotation. So we're just going to rotate from the waist towards that bent knee. So we're going to stay nice and strong and grounded here. Arms, we're going to add in a little bit with the arms to switch on to this full trunk, back and core. So we begin arms extended. And then as we twist from the waist, think about hips being forward, twisting in this upper body so that we're separated upper and lower. We're going to twist into cactus pose here. So what that's doing is squeezing my back muscles together, and then I'm going to come back to center. Squeeze and center. Drawing in at the belly. So I'm tightening up, I'm using my core, I'm using my back. Let's do 4 more here. See if you can twist a little further. Last 2, keep that belly tight. back to center. Just bring those hands down, drop that back knee, step that foot back and give yourself a little wiggle. Lovely. We're going to do all of that on the other side. So let's come down to our down dog once more. I said the last one was the last one. I lied. So take your hands slightly further forward, tuck the toes, and come back. I didn't mean to lie. It was an accident. And then big breath in. Exhale, roll it through. High plank. Stepping that foot forward. Coming down onto that knee, sweeping up into our nice big crescent stretch. Beautiful. So like I say, this extended leg should just feel that nice little stretch in the front. Look up towards the sky. And then bring those arms down. Getting ready to transition to our high lunge. So just coming up into the center of those hips. And then just pushing up, draw the belly button in. Remember, you can walk yourself up any other way if you need to. Find that nice grounding, that nice base here. Sweep those arms up once more. Draw the belly button in. Take a breath. Exhale. Twist and squeeze. Back to center. Keep drawing in the core. Only take that rotation as far as is comfortable for you. But do try and challenge it a little bit if you can. Stay with it, guys. Stay strong in that lower body. Keep drawing that belly button in. We've got 4 more here. Squeeze those back muscles. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. 3 more. And 2. And 1. Back to center. Bring those arms down. Drop to the back knee. Foot back. Let's just take a little moment in child's pose here. Take a little stretch off. Stretch right through to the fingertips. Take some nice deep breaths here. And relax. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to come forward and we're just going to find ourselves in our sideline position. A little bit more work on the lower body. So we're going to come into our sideline position here. And we've got a little sequence to do here, so I'll show you what it's going to look like. Actually, first of all, we'll just do a few leg lifts just to make sure we are nice and warm. Just a couple. Again, not worrying about how high we're lifting that leg, anything like that. Draw the belly button in, point the toes, lift the leg, flex the foot and lower. So making sure we're nice and engaged in this abdomen, this hip's nice and still. Let's just do 3 more. Lifting just a touch higher. Down. 2 more. And last one. Just a little touch higher. And down. So staying with the leg raises, just bring that bottom leg bent in front. It's going to look like this. I'm going to lift. And then lower. Point your toes, swing the leg forward as close to 90 degrees as you can. Draw the belly button in a little bit more here. Flex that foot. Lift from here. Swing it back. And then repeat. So lift in here, nice and high. Keep it nice and strong here. Draw the belly button in. Swing that leg forward. Try not to crunch forward in the belly. Flex the foot. And lift. So everything below this hip joint should be still, should be strong. Above, I meant, not below. You know what I meant. So, forward and lift. Nice. Now that we've got the hang of it, let's see if we're going to lift a little bit higher, swing a little more. Keep it nice and tight in the core the whole time. How far can you swing that leg forward? Keep that hip steady. Can we lift from here? How high can you go? Nice, guys. Let's do 2 more full rounds here. And last one. Make it a good one, keep those abs tight. And down. Swing it back. And just relax. Ooh, that was nice. One last little one here. I'm just going to come into our clam. Slight variation on our clam. We're going to hover the leg at hip height here. We're going to drop the knees to touch. And then we're going to twist in that hip. Drop the feet to touch. I know we've just worked on all of that, so it should be feeling nice and spicy. But let's just finish it off. Just moving slow. Twisting through. So again, nothing's happening up here other than a nice core engagement. Everything's nice and still in this hip. Just visualize that little twist in the hip. After this one, 2 more each way. Bring it down. Woo. Give it a little hug in. Roll all the way onto the back. And just hug that leg in that we've just worked. Nice and tight. Maybe just give it a little ease around there. A little swing. Maybe take it out to the side. Whatever feels good. Just ease it off. And then we'll come onto the other side. So you can roll over or you can swing around. I'll swing around for you. So just a couple of leg lifts, again, just to warm up. Both legs extended just to begin with. Draw the belly button in, lift, and then lower. Again, not worrying too much, just warming up a little bit. Easing just a little bit higher, 3 more. Bringing that bottom leg bent in front now. Let's go for that full sequence. So point your toe, lift the leg, flex the foot to lower, draw the belly button in, point your toe, swinging it forward, flex the foot, lift, and lower. Remember, just make that swing as big or as small as you need it to be as well. If you only come into about 45 degrees or whatever, that's fine. You do you. As long as you feel it, and as long as your core's working, as long as you're working in that hip, the glutes, all good stuff. Swing back. And again, now that we're getting a little little bit more comfortable on this side. Let's increase that range of motion if we can. Three more here. Keep that core switched on. Don't know if it gets spicy, doesn't it? Two more. Stay with it. And just take it to wherever you want to. One last one. Last big swing. Flex the foot. Beautiful. All the way back. And relax it down. Give it a little tap. Last one on the legs, promise. Clams. Hold that leg at hip height. Drop the knees. Drop the feet. Switching on here. Slow and controlled. Trying to lift that foot as far as we can. Feel a nice little pinch maybe on the outside. Lift that knee as far as we can. Reaching that inner glute. After this one, two more each way. Beautiful. Hug that knee in. Roll onto the back. Just give it a nice little hug. Roll it around. Whatever feels good. And we'll give those legs a little rest and we'll come to the abs. We're going to do one on the abs, but I want you to think about your spine on this one. So we're going to come up to seated. Just roll yourself up. Ready for our C curve. So we're going to do C curve today with our legs extended. So it's an ab exercise, but I want you to think about this nice curve in the spine, hence the name. So it's going to look like this. Legs extended, arms extended, little tilt of the pelvis to begin that movement. So we tilt under, curving in. Pelvis tilts under, we draw the belly button towards the spine. You can even think about just tucking your chin slightly, just to really emphasize that big curve in the spine. Then as we go down, we pull in, we draw in a bit more here, and we curve as much as we can. Yeah? Curve, curve, curve. Then we find that little biting point, we draw in a bit more, and then we come up just the same. So keep that curve, keep the curve, keep the curve, keep the curve. And then we come back up, we restep the spine coming up tall, and then we're just going to add a little bit on. So we're just going to reach forward and then roll them up. So that bit on the end, it's just like the same kind of movement through the spine, just the opposite way, and it's just a nice little stretch at the end as well. So we're thinking about nice movement through the spine. That curve is the trick for this one, yeah? If you curve through and get that core engagement, you shouldn't feel any tension in that back because it's all focused on here, yeah? So that curve forward, we're not hunching the shoulders or anything like that, just a little slight tuck of the chin, curving in as much as we can, yeah? So let's move nice and slow. So we tilt under, draw the belly button in, curving in. Thinking almost about folding in half here. Find that little biting point, and then draw back up, keep that curve, keep drawing in. So even here, your tummy might want to relax a little bit, we're not Come all the way up. Restock here. Nice reach forward. And then a nice big curl up. And again, let's do 4 more. Again, just go in your own time. Everyone will have their own pace. Everyone will have their own range of motion. Big tilt, draw it in. Drawing even more on the way up. Draw, 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 draw. Restack in the middle. Reach forward. And then restack from here. Nice healthy movement through that spine. Super important is our spine mobility. Draw in. This is the point where I'd normally say challenge that range of motion a little bit, but just stay with that thought of the spine. Focus on the spine. Reaching over. Restack. We've got 2 more to do, guys. Big breath. Drawn in. So visualize each little vertebrae. What is it doing? Are you supporting it from here? Are you curving? Drawing a bit more. Stay curved. Curve, curve, curve. All the way up. And then you can restack it. It might even feel like super exaggerated, but that's good. It won't look exaggerated. We'll just feel it. And no one's looking at you anyway, so it don't matter. You're all looking at me, but I don't care what I look like. Last one. All the way up. Back to seated. And then last little stretch forward. And then roll up. Oh, and you should just feel nice and mobile in that spine. You should just feel nice and free. Sometimes if you do that, you might feel that little bit of tension. Hopefully that's gone and that's just ingrained that idea a little bit more in your head. Staying with that idea, we're going to come down into a bridge. For movement through the spine again, but obviously we're moving just in a different way now. We're leading from the bottom. But again, I want you to focus on the spine. So bring those feet slightly closer to the hips, so we should just be able to touch the heels with the hands here. And it begins exactly the same, just that little tilt of the pelvis. So when we focus on the spine here, we tilt the pelvis under, a little tilt here, so that spine just imprints all the way down. So you should just feel that every vertebrae is touching the floor there. From there, big squeeze of the bum, draw the belly button in, switch onto the pelvic floor. We then start to peel each vertebrae off from the bottom, so right from the tailbone, coming off one at a time, to in that nice high bridge on the shoulders, squeezing the bum, engaging here, making sure those knees aren't rolling in or out, and then we come down exactly the same. So we start from the top, each vertebrae comes down in turn. So you shouldn't feel that flat back touching the floor. You want to keep a little lift here as each one comes down. That little tilt, we don't untilt until we get to the bottom, and then you untilt to reset. Does that make sense? Breathe in, tilt under, feel that imprint down on the mat, squeeze the bum, over we go. Just going to move super slow. Again, just in our own time, with our own breath. Just enjoy that. I always think it's a nice little massage through the spine. And it just helps that awareness. So keep that little tilt. We're going to do 3 more. And coming back to neutral. neutral at the bottom. Big squeeze of the glutes, remember. Switching onto the core. Last two in your own time. Don't let that good technique fall. With the breath. After this one, we've got one more. Then we're going to finish off with just a little bit of ab work, and then we'll stretch. Big breath in. All the way down to the bottom. Right to neutral. And relax. Plug your knees in, just for a little minute, give yourself a little rock from side to side. Let's jump into that ab work just to finish off. Just a few little exercises here just to make sure we've got plenty of strong core work done. So come into tabletop, knees hovering above the hips. Extend those arms up towards the sky. Opposite arm to leg, we're going to extend away. So hollow in here, draw the belly button in. Again, thinking about imprinting down. So all that work we've just done. Don't let that lower back lift and arch off the mat, yeah? You want to keep it down on the mat as much as you can. If it does lift off, you know you've come a bit too far. You need a little bit more core engagement. So we extend away, opposite arm to leg, draw in. So you should feel a nice activation in that whole core, particularly those lower abdominals. Just be aware of that spine, like I say, just imprinting down all the time. Hollowing in. Thinking about using the abs to draw those limbs back into the center. Nice guys, two more each way. Try not to speed up. Slow and controlled. Last one. Center. Give yourself just a little rest off in the middle. Dive right into the next one just to get it finished off. So we're going to come into our curled up position this time. So just let that head sit back in the hands. If you want to, at any point you can just come back down to the mat. Knees in tabletop again. Maintaining this 90-degree angle in the knee. Hollowing in here. Just going to drop the foot down and then back to center. So trying to lift in the upper body a little bit just to create that extra little bit of tension here. Remember, you're not pulling on that neck, just letting the head sit back in the hands. Keep that bend in the knee. So don't just let the foot drop down here because that's not doing anything. You want to think about taking that knee away from the body and then back to center. Stay with it. This is the last bit, guys. Nearly done. Just working slow, staying with your breath. Hollowing in, drawing the belly button towards the spine. What's happening in that spine? Is it still touching the mat? I hope so. If you're feeling brave, you can also go for a double. But you don't have to. Four more, wherever we are. Almost there. Last two. And relax. Lovely. Give yourself just a little rock from side to side here. We'll have a little quick stretch and then you're done. That's it. You've done the hard stuff. Bringing yourself up to seated. Sitting however is comfortable for you. That might be legs extended, that might be legs crossed, whatever. Cross my legs, I think. Little side bend flow here, so just let everything relax now. Just bring one hand down to the mat. We're just going to stretch up and over. Take a big breath in here. And then we're slowly just going to sweep through, stretching forward. Stretching over the legs, sweeping around to that other side. And then take a breath in here. So we're stretching all the way through the back as we have that nice big swing forward. And then nice big side bend, coming a little deeper into it each time. Let's do one more each way. And then just come into center and just fold over those legs wherever we are. Big reach forward. Take a breath. And then we're slowly just going to restack. Moving through the spine. Up to seated. Oh, here, just have a little stretch in the neck. So we're just going to drop one ear to the shoulder. And then just pop your hand on, just gentle pressure. And then let go. Back to center. And then to the other side. Gentle pressure here. And then let go. And then same forward, so we're just going to drop the chin, bring your hands down. And then let go. And look up. And then last few little stretches, going to bring the feet together. Grab hold of the feet with the hands and then just bending forward from the hips. We're just going to stretch into the inner thigh here, into the hips a bit. Just let that body relax over the legs, trying to ease that head down towards the feet. Deep breath here. Last big breath. And exhale, just roll it up. Keep those legs extended, stretching into the hamstrings. So same again, this time just reaching for the feet, legs nice and straight, and just trying to stretch into those hamstrings a little bit. Just relax the body down. Remember, it doesn't matter how far you come, how flexible you are, just as long as you feel it. But practice does make perfect. Last deep breath. And rolling up. And then just finishing with some nice deep breaths, just in your seated position. Nice big breath in. Big reach up. And a big exhale. And again. And last one. And big clap for you. Good job. Thank you for joining me once again. I hope you feel wonderful after that, and I will see you next time.